And good morning, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. Yes, that's correct. Donald Trump is going to release UFO files. It's going to go mainstream, and we should have UFO disclosure within days, maybe a week. Raw Alerts has posted this. Breaking news. Watch as President Donald Trump announces that Department of War will be releasing UFO-related files imminently. And guys, when he releases this to the public, the whole globe is going to know about it. And I can tell you from experience, there are thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people in the world, on the planet, that haven't given this a second thought for years. They've all been brainwashed. Life forms can't travel vast distances. You know, they would never make the travel, and there's nothing out there that travels fast enough. It's all myth brought in from the scientists, right? We're talking about other life forms that aren't human, that won't necessarily need oxygen, won't necessarily need to walk around in an environment that caters for them. This is crazy stuff. We're talking about NHI with even crazier tech, okay? They could probably inhabit any planet, could just drill into the center of it and hey ho, build a home. So look, this is crazy stuff. The scientists have got it wrong for so many years. This announcement itself, as soon as it goes mainstream, it's going to affect the science community, it's going to affect the mainstream public. The only ones that it won't affect is the UFO community, right? Because we've been on board since day one. And I've been calling this now for the past 2 years, saying, look, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. UFO disclosure is coming. There's no way they would be allowing us to talk about it on this kind of level if they weren't going to release the files. It's been that obvious to me for some time. And so I hope, for those that have been watching the channel for some time, you're completely on board with what I've been saying, because now it's crunch time. It's crunch time. Law Alerts says this. Watch as President Donald Trump announces that the Department of War will be releasing UFO-related files imminently, guys. Let's have a listen.
As you remember, I recently directed the Secretary of War. How good is Pete Hegseth doing, by the way? To begin releasing government files relating to UFOs and unexplained aerial phenomena. And I figured this was a good crowd because I know you people, you're really into that. I don't know if I am, but so I'm pleased to report today. I thought I'd save it for this crowd because you're a little bit out there, you know, a little bit. That this process is well underway, and we found many very interesting documents, I must say. And the first releases will begin very, very soon. So you can go out and see if that phenomena is correct. You'll figure it out. Let me know. Let me know.
So again, he's staying very, very neutral here. He's saying, we're going to release some stuff. You guys let me know what you think, okay? But he's going to release, what, 46 videos? God knows how many files. Look, guys, we can all speculate. I don't know exactly what's going to be released, okay? What I do know is coming from the top of a government, okay? The top of a tree. At least the face of government, okay? In America. And that's huge. That really is huge. And it's an official statement. It will be an official release. It should make the mainstream, which means there's going to be millions and millions of people out there that have never looked at this topic suddenly go, what the fuck? This is real? You're telling me that all those nutters out there were correct? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we are. Interesting stuff. Can't wait. We are days away, guys. Cannot wait. UAP reporting centre yet again. Coming up with the goods. Rep Tim Burchett just walked out of a new UAP briefing, and the implications are massive. Let's just have a listen, guys. It's a 4-minute clip. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. This is huge.
And I've had so many of these briefings now. I even had one since the one that you're describing. I had that was a member of our leadership arranged, which tells you the serious nature of this thing. Yeah. And, you know, I just think people need to know what we've seen and what these pilots are seeing. And Luna, for instance, we requested all those videos. And she is, you know, gave kind of a deadline when she'd like to have them by. And she calls over there and they say, well, we don't know anything about the letter kind of stuff. The same old stuff you and I've run into for years on this issue. And America's just ready. I think they would be they'd be alarmed about what it is, and I think mostly they'd be alarmed at why the government won't allow it out, and what's at the base of it, and you know, all the theories aside, whether you think it's extra-terrestrial, if it's something from this earth, you know, if it's the Russians or the Chinese or the Americans, which I don't think it is, and then maybe allow some of the pilots to talk and tell exactly what they've seen. And the last briefing I had, some pretty incredible photos, and I think that you should have the right to see those.
Yeah.
And the critics are going to blast it. You know, they're going to say it's AI, it's whatever. But you got to go back and ask yourself, why would some of the best pilots in the world, why would they risk their credibility to come out with this? Because anytime they make a sighting, a lot of times they'd have to get a psych evaluation and get all this stuff, and even if it's something they saw on radar. But now we've got officers in the Navy seeing these very, very large objects on sonar traveling at a very high rate of speed, something that's exponentially faster than anything we can accomplish. You got to realize that you have an object out there in the ocean that hovers, above the ocean in the air, that hovers for, could be hours on end. We have nothing with that capability. You have to you'd run out of fuel. And then when they take off, they just, you know, maybe straight up, and the power to do that is something, the energy it'd take to fuel Los Angeles. I mean, it is that incredible. And I just don't see any reason why our government should be hiding it. And I don't like going into a meeting and an elected bureaucrat tells us that the president is on a need-to-know basis. To me, that should be very telling to America that there's a lot more going on with this behind the scenes than we're aware.
And you've heard that directly.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, and I know Matt Gaetz spoke a couple weeks ago about a briefing he had on a breeding thing between, you know, alien life, but he didn't say he'd seen it. He didn't say it was fact. He just said that it was discussed with him by a member of the military. And have I heard those things? Oh, sure, I've heard those before, but I haven't seen anything. And I have my own beliefs about it, but about all what's going on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I just think it's time for America to get this stuff, get this information.
Wow, he's really being careful at the end there. You could see he was struggling because he's got his own opinion, which doesn't necessarily fit what he's seeing and what he wants to say, but he's just got to keep his opinions to himself. He just needs this release, guys, so that people can make their own opinions. In fact, if all this gets released, can you imagine how the world collectively, without even realising it, will start working together? You know? There'll be vast amounts of people in different countries that will suddenly be doing the same thing. And without realising it, guys, they'll get results. And the results will be made public. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And this is why we need the disclosure to happen. You know, so that we can develop quicker and share the information with the world. That's literally the goal for me, anyway. Tim's been doing a fantastic job pushing for this to come out. Whether it's been due to come out the whole time and he hasn't known, or he has known, I don't know, okay? I don't know what the plans are, but as far as I'm concerned, he's really pushed for it. It's now happening. It was only last week he was like, I don't think the UFO disclosure is going to happen, right? He really hasn't been sure. But look, with Trump releasing the files, that is UFO disclosure, guys. It is, 100%. People then can take him seriously and not take him seriously. By the way, there'll be a lot of people out there as well that won't take him seriously initially. That's natural, okay? But as time goes on, over the coming months, you're going to start seeing those people going, hang on a minute. The more I'm looking into this, the more I'm seeing stuff, right? I'm seeing sightings, we're getting recordings. And then people will eventually start recording themselves, guys, because they'll know that we are not alone. And on that note, I really, really need more cameras in the skies. The sun is out. If you're living in America, anywhere near Oklahoma, Texas, get your cameras in the skies. East Coast, West Coast, if you're anywhere near California, get your cameras in the skies. Australia, same thing, guys. Get your cameras out. And in the UK as well, especially if you're in Wales, anywhere near any of the coastlines, sideways, landscape, 10-20% zoom maximum. Try and get point of reference. Aim for the planes, the helicopters. Guys, you want clear blue sky. You want to zoom in enough on an area where you can see something clearly in place. Even record birds, okay? We're after the gold. We are after the gold. I want to see these craft. I want to see their movement. And these things are going to be moving around for us in the skies a hell of a lot more as this information rolls out, guys. So please, work with me. I promise you we will have gold this year on this channel. I just know it. Alright, up next, and this is the last segment of the video. President Donald Trump vows to look into 10 scientists that have gone missing or turned up dead. Guys, this is crazy stuff. I want you guys to pay attention to what Donald Trump is saying, okay? This was taken on the 16th of April, so 2 days ago. He's obviously been made aware about the missing scientists and the dead ones. He sees that there is clearly dots to connect, and he's going to be looking into it, guys. Let's have a listen.
10 missing scientists with access to classified stuff, nuclear material, aerospace. They've all gone missing or turned up dead in the last couple months. Based on what you've been briefed, what do you think is happening here, and do you think that this is connected or totally random?
Well, I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. I just left the meeting on that subject, so pretty serious stuff, but we're going to be hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, if you whatever you want to call it, but some of them were very important people, and we're going to look at it over the next short period.
I mean, look, if you guys could bet on it, right? If you had to put your house keys on it and say, pick one, was it a coincidence or not? Of course you're going to say it's not, okay? There's too many of them, all gone missing within a short period of time, or dead. It's terrible. All around a time where a war was happening in Iran, Ukraine war was going on, and we've got UFO disclosure, okay? Something doesn't add up, and that's why President Trump is looking into it. Hopefully we're going to find stuff out. Guys, what's important about this whole clip? He says, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. 2 days later, he has a news conference and he says, look, we're going to release the UFO files. This with the missing scientists, the UFO files, it looks like they're going to be all released within the same week. And that's happening real soon, guys, real soon. It could happen tomorrow. Honestly, it could happen tomorrow. So with that said, please hit the notification bell, because as soon as they release those videos, as soon as they release all this information, I'll be going over it with a fine-tooth comb. I'll also be showing some of your evidence as well. Guys, it's got to be good now. It has got to be the gold, because I've got a funny feeling what they're going to release is not going to be bad at all. And we need to up our game if we want to get any clarity on these things. And this year is going to be the year to do it, guys. And I'm going to just touch on this now before I go. With this going public, with Trump making this completely public, it's going to hit the mainstream media. People will start recording more. That's why I say if you're in Oklahoma, any of the coastlines, San Diego, California, Texas, East Texas, anywhere around there, guys, get recording. Especially Oklahoma. Mustang, Oklahoma. Okay, the FAA work there. The majority of the FAA actually work there. Their base is there. There's been sightings in Oklahoma in the past. If you're anywhere near there, guys, get cameras in the skies. This year is the year of sightings, because this is all coming out. And I've got a funny feeling when consciousness raises across the whole planet on this particular topic, I feel like we're going to get more and more sightings in the skies, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And for anyone who's on the fence, just remember, I've been saying for the last 2 years as this is coming out, even with Tim Burchett saying last week he doesn't think that the disclosure is going to happen, I was still batting against him saying, look, it will, it will, it will. And now here we are, guys. We are literally one news conference away from what I call UFO UAP disclosure. Guys, let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I will read them. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.